Hey, all you bookworms, baddies, and everybody in between. I can't wait to get started. So, the Booktube Newbie tag has 11 questions, and we're going to do them as I do my makeup. As I answer the questions, you can answer them down in the comments. I would love to get to know somebody who wants to get to know me and what I read. Question number one. I got my iPad here. Why did you start this channel? Wow. We're just getting right into it, aren't we? There is just something so beautiful about connecting to a new friend based on a mutual love of a book, a movie, or a TV show. And I just thought it could be a really great way to start building community with like common intention. I've always loved to read. I love stories, and I'm also a writer. So I just think there's just something to be said about the beauty of like not only stories, but stories and how they shape a community. So I guess I created this channel in order to, I guess, have a platform for stories to shape people. That's cool. That sounds really cool. Let's go with that. Number two, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? My ability to be able to glean life lessons from fiction. Like, I don't care if we're on a distant galaxy in a fairy world under the water, like, there's a life lesson in here, and I'm very good at like, yep, got the word. So I'm excited to be able to not only bring like my English major and technical trainer and teacher expertise, but also just my natural love and passion for stories. What are you most excited about for this channel? So I think what I'm most excited about for this channel is to be able to connect with like multi-generational, different perspectives, different people from different parts of the world, and we all be connected through our interest in a particular story. I think that's really beautiful. I feel like I learned so much about people and what they care about based on the books that they love and how they feel about books that they hate. Like, I don't know. It's so criminal of me, but I feel like it helps me really get down into the psyche of a person. Where we at? Number four, why do you love reading? So, this is gonna make you guys laugh, especially if you love astrology. But I am a Capricorn sun, so that means that I like order, I like structure. I'm an Earth sign. I don't really like to do a whole lot of moving. Like, if I would describe myself, somebody described Capricorns as stones. Like, we are rocks. We don't want to be moved. We really just kind of want to just right here. But I'm a Sagittarius moon. Literally the opposite. Like a traveler and explorer. So it's like I am always so interested in new cultures and exploring, but like I'd rather do that without leaving my house. Like, I'd rather do that without leaving my house. And I remember when I was younger, I would like suck up the fact that I hated to travel but love to go to new places. But now I feel like the more that I read, the less I find myself needing to travel because I'm getting that new perspective without having to leave the comfort of my home. So I think it allows me to be a dreamer and a homebody at the same time. Number five, what series or book got you into reading? I am a big lover of like fantasy, but love romantasy. So I would definitely say like Twilight, Percy Jackson, series of unfortunate events, deep cut. Um, Also, I would say that got me back into reading like as an adult. I would definitely say Children of Blood and Bone was the first like black YA novel that I read like as an adult, and I was like, oh yeah, we're getting back into that. And This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron was a really big standout for me. Which got me into Skin of the Sea by Natasha Bowen, which is like African mermaids. So, Number six. I love this question. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? So I think the biggest question that I've always had is how people schedule content, like, how far in advance are you prepared? You know what I mean? Like, tell me how far in advance that you're thinking of content. Like, how far in advance do you create content? Like, you know what I mean? Like, little things like that I would want to know. And then the other thing is like, what? Ooh, forgot this was very pigmented. Sorry. What was like, where was the moment where you were like, I don't care what anybody says, like, this is the thing? For example, like, I see people shooting in like bookstores and stuff, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, not I could never, but like, ooh, that's gonna take like something out of me. Like, I feel comfortable shooting in like libraries, but in a bookstore, it's like, those are the moments where you're like, I don't know, it's me or my fear. I guess I wonder what people's personal journey is with that. So yeah, I think that. Number 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Consistency. Like, being able to not only be consistent in my reading so that I don't have like lame boring books, but also, and I'm not talking about the same 3 books, but also consistency in like, even when I'm not feeling great, even when I'm sad, even when I'm like, I have a hard time being consistent when I feel discouraged. So I guess, how to handle discouragement. When did you start reading? No, I'm just kidding. But I started reading recreationally, actually, with my mom when I was probably in like second or third grade, because in second grade I loved this teacher. Her name was Miss Barrett, and she was a poet, and so am I. And I just remember being so stricken and so in love with writing, but I hated to read. Like, I thought it was such a waste of time. Like, I don't want to do this. And my mom was just like, how are you going to be a writer and you hate to read? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So we started reading like these classics together. Like, we read Huck Finn and Moby Dick and Treasure Island. And it was so nice. But I think for me, when I started reading like recreationally was definitely on and off between like late high school, college. Like, whenever I was going through a transition, I found myself like reading heavily. But I think within the last 2 years, not even during COVID, which is so weird, I would say that I have been like a reading girly, like reading more than I ever would. So happy about that. Where do you read? So that's really easy for me, in my house. As I told you earlier, I am a homebody, but I do have like a cute little chair that I just got from my boyfriend's mom that we put in the living room. That's become like my new little reading nook. I think it's because it's like caught between these 2 windows. And I also, if I had a choice, like, and the weather really permitted, I would definitely be reading outside. Like, I love to read outside, especially close to like a shoreline. I don't care if it's the beach. I don't care if it's a river, a lake. Like, if I'm close to both water and land, I'm happy. And I'm reading. Oh, honey, like, there was this dock in my hometown that I used to literally spend like all day and all night at. And I would be reading. Like, I just loved it. So I guess, if I'm not being lame and being a homebody, it's definitely reading like outside. What kind of books do you like? So I guess you can kind of already kind of glean from the books that I've mentioned, but I really love fantasy, especially YA fantasy. I've just started to get into like adult romance, like spicy romance. It was not always my thing because I'm not really into the smut. But I've just realized that the problem was that I was going for the wrong tropes. I might love a dark, grim, gothic fantasy, girl. I just was reading Haunting of Adeline. Traumatizing. Immediately started reading Hunting Adeline. Finished it in a couple of days. Hate to be the one. I know. And I was literally, I'm not going to lie, I was like, I'm going to stop reading this book because this is so gross. Like, why would somebody do this? This doesn't make any sense. And then I just kept reading and I was like, I was like, oh God. Last question, girlies, is what does your book collection look like? So if it's not fantasy, YA fantasy, if it's not romance, and I love a romantasy, girl, I would definitely say it's personal growth, but my book collection, as you can see, is color coordinated. I'm a Capricorn and I love color coordination. It makes sense to me. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I appreciate it so much. And I hope you guys embark with me on this journey. Whether you're here for the beauty or the books, I hope you guys enjoy this. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure to subscribe down below and hit that bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed this video style. I plan on doing all kinds of different beauty, like doing my hair, doing my nails, things like that while I talk about books. And I'd love to hear some recommendations that you guys have or that you'd like to see me do. Okay, bye.